So recently I was attending a burial somewhere deep in a village here in Africa, in my country, in Uganda, and people were recognizing me. I was passing by places. I mean, it's a sad time. Of course, you've lost someone who you care about. A friend had lost her mother, so I'd gone to attend the burial. And right there, people are recognizing me. I mean, people are like, Dr. Daniel, Dr. Daniel. I'm like, what is this? I didn't know I'm this popular. It's quite crazy, guys. But with the number of messages that I get from people all around the world, it doesn't matter the country. Sometimes I'll just be walking by the street on a busy road and people will keep stopping me. I'll be deep in a village somewhere, people will stop me. I'll go to a bank hall and the person serving me will be like, oh, Dr. Daniel. It's really crazy that I'm this popular and I don't even understand how I got here. So today I was thinking to myself, how the hell did I become the most popular farmer in Africa? I mean, as you can see, we are constructing, yeah? This is another chicken house that we are constructing right now. So a truck had come, it delivered some material for us. Sand, aggregate, things like that. But as you can see, we're constructing another chicken house. So I was thinking to myself, whoa, it's really, really crazy. I mean, it's quite amazing to understand how such things happen. How the hell does that happen? It's not like it's the biggest farm that you will find anywhere. No, certainly not. I mean, there are farms that I personally know, even in my country, that are 10 times bigger than what I'm producing. 20 times even bigger than what I'm producing. So how the hell does it happen that no one actually knows those people and they can identify me anywhere that I go? And it's also not about money. I mean, it's not like I make too much money. It's not like I go around blowing around so much money on the YouTube channel, showing you guys how rich I am. No, I don't think I'm even close to the richest people all around the world or even in my country. But then how come I became this popular? And in today's video, I just want to share these tips with you because I can tell you the truth. I've mastered the formula. I've unraveled the formula. I've understood it. And if this is something that you would wish upon yourself, because I'll tell you the truth, it comes with a lot of added advantages. If I want to sell something, it's quite easy for me to sell something because people will recognize me, quite interested in buying whatever I'm selling. On that matter, if you want to buy some farm up chicks, I'll leave a link in the description on where you can order them from. Of course, only if you're in Uganda at the moment. I mean, I can't send them outside my country because I can only satisfy the market all around here. But if you're interested in knowing how to become a popular farmer, I mean, I don't think there's honestly a more popular farmer in Africa than me. It's not like I'm bragging, it's the honest truth, yeah? There's probably bigger YouTube channels, but a bigger YouTube channel is different from, you know, the person themselves being popular. I mean, people recognize me everywhere I go. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing some of these tips with you. So just to put it into context, to help you understand, I started the farm in 2019, but then I was a doctor, still practicing my medicine, and I was a doctor, and I got a vision. That's the first point. You've got to have great imagination. Have some form of vision. Don't just get outside there and tell yourself, I'm going to start a farm. What's the kind of farm that you want to start? You see, when I sat down and came up with the word farm up or with the name farm up, I knew that at that moment I wanted to start a poultry farm. But I knew that whatever I want to start is certainly going to get bigger than just a poultry farm. Maybe in the future I want to do goats, maybe I want to do sheep, maybe I want to do cattle, maybe I want to do some form of crops, maybe fruits. I knew that I needed to get a name that encompasses everything. And up, I mean farm upwards, you know, upwards, get things up. So it wasn't about, you know, remaining plain. I had a vision, a goal of improving and getting to the top. So that is the first thing. You need to have a great vision. You need to have a great imagination. You need to have a goal. So I didn't just wake up and I was like, hey, I want to start a farm. I'm just going to start a farm. Let me figure out how I can start a farm. No, I had a plan. I had the bigger picture at the back of my mind. And if you want to get to this level of greatness, whereby greatness literally precedes you everywhere you walk, people actually recognize you, then you've got to get a vision. Yeah, you've got to get a vision. People recognize me because I have a form of vision. There is something that I'm working towards and it's quite clear. For example, on this farm, I do know that my target is 10,000 bands. Now, it's quite possible that in the future I might change it, but at least for now, it's clear. And you see the way I organize the farm, you know, you can see a chicken house right there, then another one in the background, in the distance, then there's this one, which is the third house. When we have the fourth house, we're going to have 10,000 birds in production. I have a vision. So you've got got to have a vision, a clear line of thought of what you want to do, and don't just do things haphazardly. Things rarely work out if you do them haphazardly. If you have a plan, then most likely you're going to get things done. So for me, it wasn't just the farm, but there are things I wanted to implement, and they were quite clear in my head. Now, the second thing was a desire to learn. So before I started the farm, I knew that I don't know too much. And I also knew that there's a lot of other farmers outside there. But there are farmers who stand out. And in all honesty, I can place the odds in my favor so that I can stand out and the farm can really perform well. So how can I do that? How can I make sure that the farm performs really well? I had to make sure that I learn as much as possible. So what did I do? I decided to go on YouTube, watch as many YouTube videos as I can. I mean, at that time, a lot of the videos were crappy, but still some form of information was better than no information at all. Secondly, I decided to read as many books as I can. You might ask, where did you find the books? I just went and downloaded as many PDFs as possible. The more PDFs you read, then the more you'll notice that some of the information is fake and some of the information is really repeated and some people keep emphasizing it. And so I noticed that, well, I think some of these things are really important. Also, I try to visit some farmers, you know, people who have been in the business for some time, try to learn as much as I can from them. So I was open to learning. Yeah, I wasn't the kind of person who was like, hey, I know it all, or I don't know it all, I'll just stay here and struggle. No, I was focused. I had the desire to learn, and the desire to learn, I believe, is what got me to this point, because then I got the knowledge and I could identify the mistakes that I'm having. I could identify why I'm going wrong. So the second thing that you really need to ensure that you do to make sure you get to the top is learn as much as possible and be willing and open to learn. And then the third thing that I had to learn was sacrifice. I noticed and I realized that in order for me to become better than everyone else, at least in one particular aspect, because in all reality, there was no way I was going to become better than everyone else in terms of money, in terms of how big the farm is. There are way bigger farms, like I've already said. Then there should be something special about me, something that I'm willing to do that a lot of other people are not willing to do. And I'll tell you the honest truth, a lot of people are not willing to sacrifice. No, a lot of people are not willing to sacrifice. I mean, people want good things, but they're not willing to put in the hard work. They're not willing to let go of particular things in order to ascertain the greater goal. I realized that in order for me to ascertain the greater goal, in order for me to get exactly what I need and what I want, then I've got to sacrifice. I've got to put in the hard work. So what did I do? I sacrificed my salary. I was being paid a salary, and at that time, it should have been around $850. I think I've shared this very many times on the channel. But I had to let go of that money, guys. Yeah, I reached a point where I was earning my salary and all of it would just go into savings. And then at a particular point, after I'd started the farm, I would get my salary and all of it just buys chicken feed. Here I was with just 800 chickens and they were taking up my entire salary. At that time, my colleagues were doctors. They were enjoying themselves. Yeah, a lot of them, you know, they've just started working. They're making some money. They start buying cars. They're living the good life. I mean, living in a nice place. Here I was, you know, living in a really small place. My house was literally empty, by the way, guys. I learned that for me personally, things don't hold too much value. It's the things that I use that are valuable to me. But for me, it's not so useful that I have a very nice house when I'm not utilizing the things. So I understood that, and I just made my house empty. I didn't own a car. I was literally just living broke. I was just living broke, but I knew that I had a particular goal. For me to implement the goal, I had to make sure that I put in some money. And so I had to make sure that I sacrifice. If you sacrifice, what you need to understand that a lot of people are not willing to sacrifice, and that could give you the huge advantage over everyone else. Now, the fourth thing I did was financial planning. Now, this ties too much, quite a lot into sacrifice, but it's a substantial point. You've got to plan financially. You see, if you just live your life haphazardly and you're like, well, I'll use whatever money that comes by, then you're unlikely to meet your goals. Very, very unlikely to meet your goals. But if you implement your dreams, your goals, with a proper plan, especially when it comes to finances. Because what you need to understand is that starting a farm actually requires money. It requires money, it requires that you put in money, it requires that you don't waste money. So if you implement your plan, your life plan properly, actually put in the effort and make sure that you have your account in a sensible, steady state. You know how much money you're bringing in, you know how much money you're spending, you know how much money you're putting aside for the farm, then you will reach your desired goal. A lot of the people I know don't have a single financial plan. They of course know how much they earn, but they don't know how much they spend. They don't know how much they save. There's nothing like saving in their lives. They literally don't plan their lives completely. They don't plan financially. How do you expect to achieve huge things in your life when you don't plan financially? Impossible. So for me, I had to make sure that I financially plan. At that point, I only had one account. A lot of times, what actually helps is having 2, 3 accounts where you can divide the money. When the money comes in, put your savings money on a particular account, put the money that you're going to be spending in a particular account, maybe money for bills in another account. I didn't do that. I was just using one plan, but because I had a vision, like I shared with you in point 1, I had a vision, I had a dream, then I could ensure that I actually planned very well. I put the money aside, divide it very well, make sure that I actually utilize it for the things that I've said I'm going to utilize it for, and then it was inevitable. The dream was going to be accomplished. So I've got to plan financially. And then point number 5, literally where I beat most of the people too, was utilizing the internet. You see, the internet has been around for a long time, a really long time. Interestingly, farmers had not taken a hold of the internet. Right now, things are a bit better. I mean, when you check TikTok, when you check Instagram or X, YouTube, there's a lot of farming content. At that time, there was so little of it. Like I had shared with you, by the time I started, I wanted to get farming content, but there was so little farming content. So little farming content, and all the farming content that was there was actually really, really, really crappy. So because of that, I noticed the opportunity, I noticed the gap, and I told myself that I'm going to utilize the internet. Now, there were very many ways I could utilize the internet. One of the ways was simply to teach people, because people love to learn. I personally had a problem when I was starting out, in that getting information was quite difficult for me. Like I've already shared with you. I would go on YouTube, there was some guys who were sharing, but the content wasn't well shot, the information was a bit sketchy, some of the information was outright wrong. I told myself that, hey, why not take advantage of the internet and actually get things better? So I told myself I'm going to make use of the internet. So of course I created a Facebook page, created an Instagram page. I think I didn't pay a lot of attention to Instagram at that time. I think it was mainly Facebook and YouTube, yeah, and concentrated a lot of time on YouTube, because with YouTube you can do actual teaching and people were interested in learning. And because of that, I actually got quite a following from people who were interested in learning and getting this kind of information. And these people later on become your agents, yeah, they are the ones who spread the word. And so later on, when I started a breeder farm and I want to supply chicks to people, people are willing to connect with me to buy the chick, because they have seen the frustrations I've gone through. They have seen the kinds of products that I'm actually raising. On this exact farm of mine, I'm raising my very own chicks, and the chicks perform really well. So because of that, it became quite easy, yeah? So if you utilize the internet, a lot of farmers just left the internet aside. I mean, they left the internet aside for I don't know which other groups of people, maybe for people in real estate and things like that. But it can also be utilized for farming. And I mean, the potential is still there. There's new tools that keep coming up each and every time on the internet, and if you utilize them to actually make your life better and make your path better, you can get great results. Point number 6 was put the money back into the business. You see, I've actually met a lot of people who actually start farms, they start businesses, farms in particular, but they never put the money back. That's crazy. So someone starts out, they are maybe selling eggs or they're selling chickens, they start making money from the farm, and then they eat all the profit. Before you know it, the farm has nothing to survive. The farm just collapses. What do you expect? You need to make sure you put the money back into the farm. You guys have seen where I've come from, yeah? Certainly, you've seen where I've come from with just 800 chickens. What the hell do you think I get the money from? Of course, I do get some money from YouTube, but all that money goes back into the farm. When I started, like I've already shared with you guys, I started on my dad's land. Where did you think I got the money to buy this land? Using money from the farm, also using money from the channel, yeah, using money from the internet. If you're utilizing the internet, you'll get a lot of opportunities, because people usually pay on the internet. I mean, X pays, I don't know if TikTok pays, YouTube pays. Yeah, if you do your stuff well, you'll get some people paying you. And then you've got to utilize that money, yeah? How do I get to expand these houses? How do I get to build more houses? Like 3 houses over there, there is a store over there, there is this land is about close to 3 acres. Just over there on my right, I managed to get a bit more land. I think it's about 1 acre. How the hell do you think I get to do this stuff? How do you expect me to actually get this amount of land? By putting the money back, not just chewing the money. I mean, if I just enjoyed all the money that I was getting from the farm, I mean, I would be living a luxurious life. I would have a very nice, huge car, you know, I would have a really nice house. But I put the money back into the farm as much as I can. So that's how I managed to keep expanding. That's how I managed to keep building more houses. Like I've already shown you, I'm currently building another house. That money is literally coming from this farm. The chickens, when they lay eggs, I don't take any of the profit. I just put it back into the farm. Just keep expanding the farm, keep expanding the farm. That's how you get to such levels. Then people look at you and they're like, whoa, look at what the guy has done in such a short time. But it has actually come as a result of hard work and putting the money back into the farm. Don't just eat the money. Don't just take the money out. Of course, I know that the reason you're making the farm and the business is so that you take the money out and you have money to utilize for yourself. But if you just keep taking the money out, then you're going to be left with nothing to actually run the farm or do anything on the farm. So you need to be certain and make sure that you put the money back. That's what's going to grow the farm. And then finally, point number 7 is have a great team to work with. I mean, you've got to build a great team. Yeah, that's how you get to levels that other people don't get to. You've got to build a great team. I always never share the team that's behind, but there's a huge team that works with me. I mean, there's managers on the farms, there's workers on the farms. I mean, even the tractor guys, all kinds of guys who work on the farm. Even the dogs offer a lot of security around. You've got to make sure that you handle everyone, the staff, the team that you have on the farm. You've got to make sure that you handle them well. For example, if I don't handle the dogs well, then they'll get sick, they will die. If I don't treat them, they get sick, they'll die, and then I'm going to get thieves coming to steal from me. If I don't pay the internet, for example, the cameras will not work. So you've got to make sure that you handle the team that you're working with well. Utilize them as well as possible, handle them as well as possible, treat them with high regard, and make sure that you get the best. If you get crappy stuff, if you get people who you don't like, people who are not helping you build the farm, throw them away, fire them. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's lots of people who are looking for jobs, lots and lots of people. They're looking for jobs, they're looking for a place to work, and if someone comes and they're just being crappy, wasting your time, just let go of them and get someone who is actually willing to put in the hard work, someone who is willing to put in the effort and actually do the work. Make sure you build a good team, because like I've already shared with you guys, I can't do everything over here. Yeah, I can take, I don't know, weeks without stepping into the chicken houses. I can take a long time, a really long time without stepping into the chicken houses. You know, I just take a look at the report, see what the guys are doing simply by taking a look at reports, and we're good. I'm done. Yeah, so it's particular people who do the work. I also have my own work to do in the business. So I can't do everyone's work in the business. So you need to make sure that you actually build a proper team to help you run the business. Build a proper team to help you manage each and every one of the nitty-gritties on the farm. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, smash the notification bell. Catch you very soon with another one. Lots of love. Bye.